Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, August 12th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi, and this energy mantra for today is I make lots of pit stops to nurture and tend to my inner child. And with our energies this week, that will be so supportive to tend to your inner child. It's like we're on a road trip this week, and so you need lots of time to stretch your legs, get the snacks, bathroom breaks, all of those kinds of things. Tend to your inner child because it will help with some major internal volcanic energies happening. So this week on the 14th, we have Mars and Jupiter conjunct. We also have my friend's book being released, by the way, which if you pre-purchase it, which the 14th still counts, 14th and 15th, and send me a copy, I will enter you into the raffle to get a half an hour reading with me. But on Wednesday, we've got that Mars-Jupiter conjunction, and there's some other shifty, challenging astro that's gonna be pulling out all the stops to see just how angry you are inside. So let's see. Let's work our way to that. Today, Monday, we have the moon continuing through Scorpio. And that moon in Scorpio early in the morning is going to be making an inconjunct with these energies, the Mars and Jupiter energies. And so this may show you where you have some fears in your mental energy. And I wrote a blog, or not a blog, but I wrote a post this weekend for the Astro saying, I believe that fear is a lot of times one of our big triggers for anger and frustration. And sometimes that fear can be closer to the surface, but sometimes it's a little bit more hidden. So survival stuff and fears, in places where you feel vulnerable, where you need to protect yourself, that may be popping up this morning as we have the moon pulling on the Mars and Jupiter energies. As of Monday, they're about 1 degree apart, but they're all through the day going to be slowly getting closer. So it's simmering under the surface, and the moon may be able to pull on that. We also have the sun and the moon connecting via a square energy, which can also feel challenging. Scorpio is the home of emotional energy for Leo. If you think that Leos are intense, this is part of the reason. Having a 4th house of Scorpio is very intense. So as the sun and the moon square, this may bring some inner child emotional energies to the surface as well. And sometimes that is the vulnerable place that we're wanting to protect. So be aware of that this morning. These things they're happening. They're right there for us. We also have the moon today connecting to Uranus. Now that's not until the evening, but the day is kind of full of potholes, so to speak, that are going to kind of shake you up and push what needs to be pushed up to the surface so you can face it. Now I have to show you, cleaning up the chaos deck again. This card actually stood out to me, and I was like, oh, this is so perfect. So thank you to the cats for pulling our chaos card. And the card is the mentor. And the affirmation is, I respect and learn from the wisdom of my elders. And so this can be actual elders around you, but it can also be your inner child, inner parent relationship. I love that this elder looks like a fairy and has some wings. So maybe some nature spirit elders supporting us in this as well, but we're going to need that inner parent to show up because your ego and your inner child, wounded inner child, may be popping off. Now, this isn't to say that you won't have joyful experiences, that there can't be good and fun. Do keep reaching for them, but just realize there's some potholes in the road today, and your inner child is going to need extra tending. We also have the moon and Saturn in dream time activating us, hopefully bringing forth some interesting dreams. Now, like I said, we're building to Wednesday's astro, I'm going to give you just a little heads up. We're going to have Mercury and Pluto engaging, Mars and Jupiter, and then the moon in Sagittarius is going to be pulling on that Mars Jupiter energy, and Mercury is going to shift signs. I think there's going to be, challenges with communication. I love the moon in Sagittarius, but it might get a little bit more fiery. It might stoke those inner fires for you. Good and bad. Like, you may feel very passionate, but again, little things that usually might not set you off could have the potentiality for that. We're definitely going to be feeling that on Tuesday building as well. So you just gotta be aware of these energies. One last thing worth mentioning is that Mars and Jupiter are also going to be squaring Saturn, and so the responsibility portion may feel extra heavy in all of this as well. It's kind of a little bit of a bonkery week because of this. So let's all add bonkery to our internal dictionaries, because I think that's a word we need to use more often. Joy and levity are still here. We can still have fun. We can still be silly. So let's look at these astros today. Top of the cards, or the astros. We've been looking at the astros. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Let's look at the cards. We have the experiencing card. I always say with this card is like, there's going to be some challenges. It's okay. There's growth available to us, and that growth is leading to deeper integration. I feel like this integration is of the inner child energies, like the blessed inner child, the light inner child, but also that wounded inner child, hopefully supporting that part of yourself and bringing it deeper into integration, deeper into acceptance, deeper into layers of healing. So just keep that in mind with this growth. I think here is our inner parent energy that's going to hold the light and be like, you've got this, you can do this, it's okay. Just holding that light and being able to be that light for others, because again, no man's an island. We're all going to be feeling these energies, and it might feel a little toxic, and people might get a little angry, and anger is okay. It's just learning how to use anger appropriately is a challenge, right? And especially when it's an inner child who doesn't know how to utilize this powerful emotion. So now the last two cards, we've got the traveling card, which this induced the energy mantra for the day, making those pit stops. And we again have the clinging to the past. So some of the stuff that might be coming up for you is old. It's deep. And it's feelings, lots of feels. I'm hearing the feeling song playing in my head. It's a 5 of Cups, so there's lots of feelings. There may be some disappointment looming. We have the traveling card, although it is in reverse. So this card, it talks about not carrying such heavy packs, knowing what we want to leave behind, what we've been clinging to the past to leave behind. This might mean some processing, and this processing might be the experiencing. Bring your cheerleader with you, because let's be fair, it's still Leo and Gemini. Both Leo and Gemini want to have good times. So keep reaching for the light, even as you feel whatever's coming up. I'll be right there with you, working with my inner child, helping teach my inner child to self-soothe these energies and integrating those portions. And keep in mind, check in. This could also be elders, your ancestors, supportive people, energies that have, gone to the light. So respect and learn from their wisdom to support you in all of this as well. So that's it for today. You can book a reading. Those text check-ins are available. If you need a text check-in, if you want to talk through your anger or text through your anger, reach out. Let's do the thing. And besides and beyond all that, do check out my friend's book. I'm so excited. It's an interesting date to be released because potent energies, and you may benefit from what she talks about in her book with energy clearing. So keep that in mind. Besides all this, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.